This is the 95 Volvo 940. It's here for respray and front end modification, plus some other small mechanical issues like a clogged up cat and an oil leak. Now the front end on this is now the American style Volvo 741. As you can see, it's got the 740 headlamps brackets. The 941s are on the inside. I just put the 741s on the outside because I didn't really want to ruin the car in case someone would want a 940 front end back on it. As you can see, the hood is sanded down to bare metal and starting to rust, which is the point because this car is not going to be red anymore. So the rusted hood is going to work with that color that is coming on it. I had to put in some new pieces of metal here because the 740 front end didn't really match up with the 940 chassis. I wanted to leave all the structural parts of the 940 in place here, so I didn't cut into any of those. But in order to get the hood latches, the pins that go down here, to fit, I had to cut this up here and fold it up in order for it to work. That also was the case with this front radiator support, because the 740 hood is a lot more flat on the end, like this. The 941 is a bit more like that, so it didn't really fit. Had to modify the front end for the hood to fit and for the headlamps. Got that all done and put the headlights on and wired all of them up and made sure everything worked. Then it was back to disassembly and ready for paint. Now this, as you can see, it has a turbo. So it's a 940 turbo. The FK, so it's a low pressure one. Originally they run about 0.3 bar boost. This one runs around 0.7. So they're fast enough if you don't know what a fast car is. Which is one thing that annoys me a lot with people with these cars. They put them on 1.2 bar or under 1 and they say they're fast. They're not. Listen to me, they're not fast. Not at all. Now, it got another set of front fenders because the 740 fenders that we had for it was kind of rusted. And it was easier to just get another set for next to nothing and put those on instead of actually fixing the other ones. The wheels, I don't know if you can see these, the two front ones at least now are center turned, original 15-inch steelies. These are getting painted the same color as the car, but this is Norway and there's snow out, and those tires are semi-slicks. So I was moving this car out to turn it around and back it back in here, and guess what? It got stuck on flat ground, which is always fun. So I had to get my friend who owns this car to come up with a set of winter tires for the back. It won't steer, almost not at all, but the back end has grip, which is kind of counterintuitive for a rear-wheel drive Volvo. Most of these things just go sideways. I don't think I've seen one of these owned by anyone under 40 that drives them like they should drive them. All of them just go sideways. Now, when he drove this car up here for me to start working on it, he had, I don't know if you can see through that Lexan window, that there's a transmission back there. He had two of them, just standing upright like that, and through one turn, one of them tilted and went through the side window. So this was just shattered. The only thing holding the glass in place was the tint. So I had to throw the tint away, or it was basically just the tint because the window was gone. And we were looking around for someone who had a window for it, but no one had. So I just asked him, do you need glass? Because I can go get Lexan, which I did. So this is not going to break anymore. Now, if you look at it like this, you'll see that this window is really flat, and if you go to the other side, it's more rounded, but no one's going to look at this car from both sides at the same time. So, well, neither of us really cared about that. And we decided to paint this car in an army green. It's not actually army green, it's just more what it looks like. I went to the paint shop, and since I actually have some contact with them from earlier projects, I get the paint for pretty much what it cost them to get. So I got a hold of 4 or 5 liters of, it's called RAL 6002, I think it is. It's called chrome green, and I got it as flat as they possibly could make it, because all he wanted his car flat army green, which I've seen a couple of them after we came up with that idea. They actually work with the American front end and try to keep the theme going instead of just making the car what it is. Now, it is going to get lowered. We have been sort of slinging the idea around that maybe we should put it on airbags, just to slam it to the ground when it's parked, because, well, we have some 40 millimeters lowering springs that have been cut. They were on a 940 wagon earlier this year, last year, 2016, and that car was so low that it would scrape almost everywhere. It had no suspension travel left. It was probably an inch or two, so it just kept bottoming out all the time, and we took that off because, well, it got a bit too bad. We have been considering putting those on, but not completely sure about that's going to happen yet. Now the interior is all full of parts, because it's basically everything that's off the car except the bumpers and headlights. Well, no, headlights are actually inside. The bumpers are resting on my Fairlane in the other room. Now, I'm not going to give away everything about how this thing is going to look, but, well, you know, the army green and the 740 American front end, and the turned steel leads, and the rusted hood. But there are a few more tiny little details we want to do to it, just to sort of go with the theme of army. Now, I've been trying to sort of mention maybe some white stencil type graphics on it, like, well, it's Swedish, so why not the 3 crowns, the Swedish national symbol or whatever it's called. Oh, maybe some lettering, like some of his nickname, or maybe something like that, or maybe even the U.S. Army star on the door, middle of the hood, maybe. The hood is not going to be completely rusted, because I want it to look a bit more natural. I know a hood that's been sanded down and rusted up doesn't really look natural whatsoever, even if you try to make it look natural, because there's nothing else on the car that's rusted, and there you go with a big ass rusted hood. But there will be some paint on the hood, some actually car color, same color as the car. Probably try to mask it off, like, so that you see the rust go up, and in places that it would blow up, or not blow up, but water would maybe go with the air of when you're driving it and go up in some places, and have green on the back and a little bit down the front of it. Maybe some spots here and there that are rusted. Just try to keep it looking natural. I don't really like cars to look overdone, like, well, not overdone, but well, that too. I don't really like it where it looks like you've tried too hard. Because if you try too hard to make it look, well, in this instance, rusted or worn, you'll overdo it, and it'll just not look natural at all. You'll be able to see that it is fake, which I don't really like, because, I mean, fair enough, everyone has their own taste, but I like it to look a bit more natural if you're first trying to make it look weathered. If you're trying to make it look weathered and you just hold everything rusted, yeah, that's good. Either that or one giant panel like a hood rusted. It just doesn't look good. And I am sorry about the bad image that's getting this because of those lights in the roof. But anyway, that is the Volvo. If you'd like to see more of this thing, when it's getting painted, I was thinking of maybe making a time-lapse video of it being masked and then washed down and painted. Thinking time-lapse of that, I was thinking about doing that. And then an assembly video where it's being put back together. And then there's the oil leak that I gotta fix. And yeah, parking brake cables. And that would be pretty much it for it at that point. Oh yeah, the transmission has to come back out because this one works in first, second, fifth, and reverse. Third and fourth are gone. If you try to put the stick somewhere near third or fourth, it'll just growl. It sounds like an angry little Volvo if you try to put it in third or fourth. That is the only way a Volvo can be angry, by the way. And I am pissing off a lot of people now. Anyway, I hope you would consider maybe subscribing or liking. And I'll check back in with more videos on this car, the Chevy. I don't know if you can see it. It's standing right up there. It's a 93 Blazer. And behind it is my 63 Fairlane. And in front of it, outside, is the 77 Aspen. There's also a 318 V8 being built on the other side of that wall. That is going in a 74 Dart that's standing outside this gate. So, well, yeah. Check it back in with you later, and thank you for watching.